The field of 42 is set here at Watkins Glen. Benyacko and Vince Freeze round out the front row here. Two Chevys similar to that of the Napa Pro Series. We have two of the same manufacturer dominating that front row. But these two drivers certainly looking for their first win of the season. The green flag is out in the air. We're racing here at the Glen. Great start there by Vince Freeze in the 42. Benyacko looking to fight back as they roar through the S's for the first time today. Vince Freeze outside, Benyacko inside, and there's Hannah Allen in the picture. She's wanting to help her teammate, and she's going to follow and give him some drafting assistance as the number 8 car is going to round through the bus stop for the first time. A lot of them hitting those rumble strips, and Benyacko being the first to overcome that, and he will stay in front of Vince Freeze on lap 1, Allen in third, while the battle for fourth is on between Anthony Marchese and Bradley Bishop Jr. James Shelley also looking to catch in on the action, and Tim Fiegel and Max Ludger also battling it out for a top 10 spot. But the field now coming through turn 10 and into turn 11. Turn 11, a bit of a tricky corner, really a deceiving corner in which you could drive the car a bit too wide and you could hit the wall as a result. But Benyacko, comfortable lead there on lap 1. Vince Freeze under pressure from Hannah Allen, but it's Benyacko leading the field down. While lap 1 looked pretty clean in the front of the pack, the back half of the field was not as lucky. Samet Oskin got some assistance from Coben Black, and into the wall he went in the S's, but not too much damage done. But Samet Oskin already being the first casualty of an incident early on. There comes Vince Freeze on the move, getting a lot of assistance there, a lot of slipstream in that 42 car, and now looking on the inside in the bus stop, Vince Freeze trying to fight Benyacko for the race lead. And with really Texas Motorsports getting those new spec engines, they're looking to see if they can catch up to the front of the pack, and Vince Freeze is already giving a statement for the team as he's already contending for that lead. Hannah Allen again having to be in the catbird seat to see where she's gonna go, but Benyacko defending his line and holds off Vince Freeze. But Hannah Allen now looking to pressure the 42, and Vince Freeze is stuck in the inside. Allen pinches him just a tad, and she's gonna get the run off the corner, but Vince Freeze still keeping ground, very stubborn with his car, but Vince Freeze doing one heck of a job here. Great start for this 42 car, and there you see Bishop Jr. and the rest of them kind of pressuring each other there, and look at Anthony Marchese taking advantage of Bishop Jr. stumbling a little bit in turn 1, and to take that spot away. That is P4 for Anthony Marchese. Jeffrey White looking to make some ground, trying to pass some cars to and fro, going 3 wide on Kyle Keith and the 94 of Jared Gross. Gross getting shoved out of line and into the back of Kyle Keith. Hard impact into the barrier, and the 94 car gets around and gets clobbered by Jay Jefferson and Jake West, 2 of the performance grading cars involved in that one, and it looks like Paul Jackson also had a piece of it as well. Huge damage to the 90 there. Paul Jackson did not have a good qualifying effort, and certainly the result won't show today, or really will kind of indicate the consequences of qualifying near the back. And you see Jeffrey White made a huge dive to the inside, a big dive bomb, and Kyle Keith kind of shoved him off the racetrack, and it looks like Gross wasn't having it and turned the 36 into the wall. Bobo Jones gets a small picket of the wreck, and then Jay Jefferson and Jake West come piling in. No place to go. The 94 had a good amount of airtime, but out of the race goes Jay Jefferson. Jared Gross with severe damage, and Kyle Keith's day comes to an end early on. Jack Porkins now going for the 8th spot underneath Tim Fiegel. Teammate Scott Roush in hot pursuit right behind. Into turn 1, Jack Porkins light on the brakes. Tim Fiegel giving him plenty of space, and right near the rumble strip goes the 43. Porkins on the gas through the S's, getting really aggressive, and an easy overtake, but Fiegel's fighting back on the outside, side by side for the 8th spot. Scott Roush looking to help his teammate in the process in that number 3 car, but look at the front of the battle. The battle for the lead rages on. Anthony Marchese looking to make a move for 3rd. Hannah Allen trying to take the lead away from Benyacko, and she will. Great overtake by the 0 car. An aggressive move through the bus stop, and Anthony Marchese himself is also looking to take the 3rd spot away from Vince Freeze in the 42. Anthony Marchese has had a season he's wanted to forget so far, and this could be a start of a turnaround for this 33 team, but right now he is still going at it with Vince Freeze in the 42. Freeze not cutting him any slack, and Freeze able to hold on to that third spot. Valiant defending by that 42 as Bradley Bishop Jr. kind of stacked behind those Chevrolets in that lone Toyota. Anthony Marchese has a run on Vince Freeze, trying to take that spot away. Freeze has been holding that third position for quite some time, but Anthony Marchese is looking to change the picture. Now going underneath the Credit One Bank car. Here comes the Aaron's Dream Machine trying to take P3 away. Vince Freeze holding his ground up top, and Marchese holding his ground on the bottom, side by side through the S's yet again, and Vince Freeze able to edge him out just that time around. But look at Bradley Bishop Jr. That car has been pretty quick, as you see Hannah Allen getting around lap car of Paul Jackson. And here comes Marchese through the bus stop. They go. Freeze hits the rumble strip. Marchese goes in the grass, has to back off, loses a bit of his momentum, but now back to the inside in the carousel goes the 33 car. Side by side off the corner, Freeze edges him out, just barely over Marchese, but Bradley Bishop Jr. is thinking otherwise. He might try and make a move underneath that 33 car, while Alex Benyacko trying to get around Paul Jackson right in front of this train of cars right behind them. And there you see Max Ludger. Quiet run for him in the 6th spot, but James Shelley also now looking to attack that number 99 car. There you saw Ludger slip a bit off that corner, and James Shelley now right on the bumper and now looking to the inside of that 99 car, looking to take P6 away. Here comes James Shelley to try and take some points away, but you see points leader Cory Williams a bit backwards in this race. You see Ross Jackson kind of ahead that 14, but now Vince Freeze trying to manipulate his way around Paul Jackson, using that lap car to his advantage to get some breathing space away from Anthony Marchese, and it actually does look like he's going to be able to, but Bradley Bishop Jr. also going to do the exact same thing as Freeze. He's going to get around him, and you see Marchese weaving to the outside. He's wanting to get around Paul Jackson and dispose of him relatively quickly, but Max Ludger instead is one of the beneficiaries. He gets around Anthony Marchese, taking that spot away, but Marchese fighting back here. This 99 car has been opportunistic in this race, and he is doing so today. Now trying to get inside the top 5 goes the 99 car around Marchese. Got around James Shelley, really defended James Shelley, and you see the car is actually now coming down pit lane, so green flag pit stops are gonna come in this time around. Benyacko's gonna be the first one to come in, while everybody else is gonna stay up maybe a couple of extra laps to see what they can do to strategize themselves in a better position. Hannah Allen down pit lane with the rest of the field right behind him. You can see how big that field can get. A lot of drivers certainly trying to take advantage of the undercut or some even the overcut maneuver to see if they can get a good lap. And one car looks like they were blowing up, but it might have been the 98 of Sam Oskin, so out of the race goes the 98 as it seems. And there you see Alex Benyacko in the picture there, the right side of your screen. Hannah Allen coming out of pit lane as well. It's going to be a really close race off, but it looks like Hannah Allen might take advantage and overcut the number 8 car with Vince Freeze in 3rd, Marchese 4th, and Bradley Bishop Jr. your top 5. And then you see Shelley, Ludger, Jack Porkins, and Sean Angel making themselves into the picture, as well as Ross Jackson in that 25 car. Keeping out these drivers here with strategy and fuel, because they saw and took notes from that Napa Pro Series race to see what they can do to potentially make it to the end. It's still going to be looks like a 2-stop race, but as of right now, Hannah Allen is in possession. Ross Jackson currently running in the 10th spot, but Tim Fiegel is hard charging right behind the 25. Gave him a little bump there. Fiegel really impatient with the Dr. Pepper machine, and he is stuck right behind him, but look who's right behind them as well. It looks like Jeffrey Wine, that 11. That 11 team actually started really far back in the grid, and they've made themselves almost close to a top 10 spot. They have really executed their pit stops, and now trying to get around Ross Jackson for the 11th spot as Tim Fiegel able to get around that Dr. Pepper machine and the 11 car, looking to overtake him quite easily off the carousel. But you see Scott Roush and Cory Williams. Cory Williams kind of struggling with his race car all day, and he's kind of running a bit backwards in pit cycles. And that 11 car now up to P11 here. Jeffrey White is on a charge here. A couple of other movers that have been making their way forward. JJ Roberts, who also started pretty far back, and Noah Hart in the Fisher entry, also trying to march their way forward. They're running near the top 20 area, getting closer and closer to see the battle between the Flying Aces teammates. of Alexander Rowe and Stephen Jenkins. We do need to focus a bit on the midfield here. The battle for 18th is on between him, Stephen Jenkins, a former Sony Cup driver, potentially moving on up, running part-time races for the team in the Sony Cup and Hardee side of things, and JJ Roberts looking to take advantage there. The affiliates all battling for position here today. These drivers certainly are going to do what they can to gain every spot they can, and you see Kyle Bocelli is having a pretty disappointing day in that 17 car. Certainly not the weekend they've wanted whatsoever. The speed looks like hasn't been apparent for that team. To see JJ Roberts easily getting around Stephen Jenkins in the bus stop. Stephen Jenkins is getting held up by Paul Jackson. As you see Noah Hart and Kyle Bocelli are looking to take advantage, but Stephen Jenkins willing to push that 90 car out of the way sooner or later. Jenkins still getting shuffled in, and really kind of stuck in a sucker hole, really a predicament for that team, and Noah Hart able to really run off there in the distance away from Kyle Bocelli and Jenkins. But you see Aiden Shepard, Jeff James, and a couple of others, Peter Ronjak and Diego Yepes, all reeling themselves into that picture, trying to take some spots away. As you see Paul Jackson through the S's, contact made, and a great save by both Bocelli and Jackson, but a really close call and a scary call for Kyle Bocelli. He's not going to be too happy with that 90 car. You see Peter Ronjak trying to use the 90 as a pick, and he will hold off Diego Yepes for the time being. Jeff James now trying to get around Aiden Shepard for the spot, but has to back off just a tad, and the red line car able to hold off Jeff James for at least the time being, as James going on the inside, hugging that rumble strip just a tad, just to get that grip in that 22 car. Jeff James has had a pretty quiet season, and certainly not the run he's really wanted, especially from a Cup driver a driver that has raced in the Sony Cup Series. Alex Benyacko, though, has been closing in on Hannah Allen, has just stayed behind her bumper, and Benyacko looking to see if he can get a run on the backstretch, and there it is. Great run off the corner. Bradley Bishop Jr. nearly getting put in the wall in the back, but the battle for the lead between the CM cars is on. Hannah Allen hitting the rumble strips, Benyacko up top. Brave move by the Reese's machine, and Alex Benyacko to the race lead yet again. The pole sitter not backing off whatsoever, and Hannah Allen's going to be back in hot pursuit. But you look near the rest of the top 5, near top 10 area, Bishop Jr. trying to run away, and you see Max Lunder, looks like he might have gone around James Shelley for position. That's for 6. So the 99 car slowly but surely making his way forward. Sean Angel also into the picture there. He's also looking to potentially steal a top 5 at the end of things. But this 99 car looks really quick on the radar. Here he goes. Great move to the inside. He's got the nose right there. He's looking to see if he can pressure Anthony Marchese into a mistake, and late on the brakes goes Max Ludger into turn 1, and the 33 goes wide. Ludger maintains his line, and through the SEC goes. Easy overtake, classy overtake by Max Ludger. That is P5 for car number 99. Ross Jackson getting held up by the 94 of Jarrett Gross. Here comes Vance Conwell looking to take advantage, potentially going 3 wide in turn 10. He does go 3 wide, and Jarrett Gross is going to have to yield, and that has created a hornet's nest for the midfield for the top 15 positions. And there you see Ross Jackson still holding his ground. Conwell with that new spec engine, keep that in mind, trying to really catch that 25 car, and here comes Alexander Rowe looking to attack as Conwell stuck in a Flying Aces sandwich. And there you see James still quietly running inside the top 20 area. Same thing with JJ Roberts, who's climbed his way forward, but not as fast as Jeffrey White. But Ross Jackson able to hold him off. Really close racing and a close call for them, but now the backstretch awaits these drivers, Cory Williams and Julio Cesar, you see in the distance ahead of them. And Alexander Rowe looking to take advantage, maybe being a bit opportunistic and optimistic with that move through the inner loop. And looks like that 05 car, looks like he's trying to make it stick, but not able to that time around. But watch him get that inside line to see if he can get the nose, really poke the nose underneath Vance Conwell, but not able to that time around. Alex Benyacko being told to pit this time around. He gives the signal to Hannah Allen. Allen looks like she got it, and looks like she won't be able to run into the 8 car that time around. And here comes Bradley Bishop Jr. He's doing the same thing. Where's Sean Angel and Shelley? They tangle, and Angel's into the turn 11 wall. Tim Fiegel trying to slow down, runs into the back of him, as well as Scott Roush. So 3 contenders that could have went for the win are out of it. And just like that, Sean Angel hits the water barrels. Maybe some steering issues, very reminiscent of the Napa Pro Series incident with Samuel England and James Ellison. And Sean Angel looks like he kind of checked up in the last corner. James Shelley then made a dive for it, and they just ran out of space, and Sean Angel gets turned off the 71. Jack Porkins, really close call for him. And then Tim Fiegel, you could tell he was getting on the brakes there, just couldn't stop in time and runs into the 6 car. Scott Roush by then was running his normal line. He saw it way too late, ran into the back of the 43, and then the rest is history from here, as Sean Angel, in frustration or just due to the steering issues, the power steering issues he probably got after that wreck, slamming the water barrels, and out of the race goes Sean Angel. And for Tim Fiegel and Scott Roush, their hopes are over as well. Hannah Allen is now in. She's going to take 4 tires on her IKEA Chevrolet. The CM Racing cars have been the cars to beat so far. Alex Benyacko, you see in the right side of the screen yet again. This is going to be very close yet again. Very reminiscent of the first wave of pit stops earlier in the race. But looks like Alex Benyacko, he's going to try and top off ahead of Hannah Allen. Going to be a close race up into the S's side by side. And Alex Benyacko able to hold off Hannah Allen. He's going to top off ahead of that 0 car. And to the race lead goes Alex Benyacko, and Max Ludger now up to the 4th position. Great effort by this Trailblazer team. They're certainly trying to prove a statement, and if they've got the speed at the end of things, they could contend for this win as well. Jeffrey White, also one of the big gainers out of this one here. He's also in the mix there, trying to get himself upwards, maybe even to a top 5 run at the rate he's going. He is right behind the heels of Anthony Marchese and James Shelley. This 11 team has really turned it around in this race, and they have executed these stops, and the race pace that Jeffrey White has had looks like has been phenomenal as well. And you see now James Shelley going underneath Marchese for the position. He is hungry to take that spot away. Marchese giving him plenty of space, and he goes actually a little bit wide, but James Shelley clean pass around the 33. That is a free spot for that 71. But there you see Jeffrey White now still on the heels of that number 33 car, and Marchese still holding his ground. Anthony Marchese doing the best out of the Rodriguez Racing car so far, and there you see Jack Porkins. Don't count him out yet. He could play a factor in this battle as well later on. Oh, great run off the S's, and now through the back search they go. Jeffrey White now making a run for his money here on Anthony Marchese. Through the bus stop they go. Look at the confidence these drivers have. And actually White has to go through the grass, but watch him kind of dive again in the corner, kind of send it through the carousel on Marchese. Marchese staying up top, and White to the bottom, but the lines will inverse here in turn 10. Jack Porkins looking to help his affiliate as Jeffrey White trying to get late on the brakes here, see who can outbrake each other first. And it looks like the 11 car actually able to peak himself ahead of that 33, but now into turn 11 for car number 11 ahead of that 33 car. Great pass by Jeffrey White, brilliant overtaking from him, and now Jack Porkins looks like he wants to put a nose underneath Anthony Marchese, and into turn 1 they go. Porkins actually breaks a little bit earlier, and Anthony Marchese able to defend that position properly. But you look weird behind them, his team, Jeffrey White's teammates of J.J. Roberts and Cory Williams are running together, and J.J. Roberts looks like he's prospered in pit stops as he's ahead of him, but now Cory Williams on the outside of his teammate battling for that 10th spot, and Cory Williams now ahead of his teammate, so J.J. Roberts kind of the last Curtis Racing car ahead, or really in that race now, so J.J. Roberts has kind of played, I guess you could say, second fiddle for the team for a lot of critics. J.J. Roberts is still putting on a great showing despite where he started. Him and Jeffrey White have been on a journey here today, and they're showcasing that with the results they've had so far. Bradley Bishop Jr. has been on the charge. He has now chased down Alex Benyacko. Yako putting the block on that number 44 car, and Bradley Bishop Jr. has to back off just a little bit as they enter the inner loop. Hannah Allen still in hot pursuit as well, despite getting passed by that 44 car, but now she is stuck behind Scott Roush as lap traffic. So car number 3 is going to have to get out of the way of Hannah Allen. They're really trying to call Roush to get out of the way, and Hannah Allen certainly trying to do something about it. But now Bradley Bishop Jr. looking for the race lead. He is hungry for victory here today. And now on the outside, the lines inverse, and through turn 11, the leaders are side by side. Yako, Bishop Jr. still side by side off the corner, and contact in the back, and Roush spins around with Hannah Allen. The CM Racing cars collide, and Max Ludger runs into the back end of Scott Roush's car, knocking his race out just like that, and Max Ludger's Cinderella run comes to a grinding halt, while the battle for the lead still rages on between Alex Benyacko and Bradley Bishop Jr., still side by side in the S's. Not one of them giving an inch here. Both of them have experience in the Hardee's National Series. Bishop Jr. a winner, as well as Alex Benyacko. Still side by side, and both on the brakes to the bus stop. Both of them still side by side. Who's gonna top out first? And it's Bradley Bishop Jr. that time around to be ahead of car number 8. But look at Alex Benyacko still fighting back right behind the bumper, but not enough to get to that 44. Hannah Allen just was trying to get around Scott Roush, just got into the corner panel of the Loves machine, sending Scott Roush into the middle of the racetrack. And then watch Max Ludger just on the brakes, no place to go. Close call by James Shelley, but Anthony Marchese and Jack Porkins had to check up. That's going to cost them a lot of time. You see those positions slowly getting lost by other drivers taking advantage. But just like that, out of the race goes Scott Roush, Max Ludger, and Hannah Allen's shot of potentially winning this race. Shortly after the incident, Vance Conwell was making a 3-wide move on Alexander Rowe and Kyle Bachelia. They were still 3 wide down the stretch, and into the S's they went there. Watch them, they're all trying to squeeze at one another, and up the racetrack went Alexander Rowe and Kyle Bachelia, and both of them went spinning around. And just like that, they're going to lose some spots, and certainly Bachelia was just an innocent bystander. Same thing with Alexander Rowe, and those two were certainly looking to potentially steal maybe a top 10 run when it came to the end of things. Issues for Peter Onjek in the number 66 car. Looks like something broke in that machine, and just like that, Peter Onjek is going to be out of the running in terms of a top 20 run. And there you see the car just really stalling in the middle of turn 1. Cars just bobbing and weaving to avoid him, and really Peter Onjek was looking forward to a top 20, was running 17th at the time, but it looks like it just wasn't meant to be. Another issue for Maverick Motorsports. There you see Scott Roush's car just heavily damaged. He's trying to come down pit lane, and Bobo Jones was coming in at the same time, not to pit lane, but trying to pass him, but they ran into each other, and Bobo Jones ends up being on the bad end of the stick, and he hits the turn 11 wall, and some front end damage to that number 81 machine. Tough break for Bobo Jones. He was certainly trying to keep the car in one piece, but it looks like that's not going to be the case here today for him. Bradley Bishop Jr. and Alex Benyacko starting their cycle of pit stops here, and a 2-tire stop for both the 8 and the 44. They're going to be out of pit lane, and that might put them in the best spot for this race win. Bradley Bishop Jr. could have this in the bag for the moment, but right now, looking at James Shelley and Hannah Allen, they have stayed out on the track for a couple of laps, early for an extra lap to see if they can extend the gap or really pull a risky strategy. They've got nothing to lose in this race, so they're going to do whatever it takes to potentially win this race. James Shelley now coming into pit lane. They've been told to box this lap, and the 71 is going to follow. So down pit lane goes James Shelley. Cory Williams looking to do the exact same thing, so he and Shelley are going to follow the exact same strategy. Jack Porkins ducks down. Same thing with Julio Caesar, but looking back at where Bradley Bishop Jr. is, he has to manipulate his way around lap traffic in order to get a good outlap, but he's really struggling to get around Alexander Rowe in that scenario, so not a good scenario for him, really good case for him. But looking at James Shelley and Cory Williams, there looks like they're going to take maybe a 2-tire stop as well, so they're following what Bishop Jr. and the others have been doing. So James Shelley out on the racetrack now this time around, and there you see Alex Benyacko. So Bradley Bishop Jr. gets around the 71 quite easily. Alex Benyacko, though, now in the picture. James Shelley, great stop for them. Benyacko on the outside, through the S's they go. Ooh, Shelley really holding his ground, but Benyacko looks like he just has the speed, and Shelley just really trying to get the car fired up out of the pit lane. But he's going to lose the spot to Alex Benyacko, but not too big of a loss because he is still right behind that 8 car. Might have gained a lot of time on him, and here comes Jeffrey White to try and get around Jake West. Not for position, but so really Jeffrey White can battle down between the 71 and the 8 car alike, so he himself could get into the mix of the top 5. But now Anthony Marchese and Hannah Allen down pit lane this time around. They're looking to see if they can pull something out of their belts And Hannah Allen had a pretty quiet run, with despite the damage, she's had some great pace. And then IKEA Chevrolet, but down pit lane they go. Looks like they're actually not going to take tires. This might be a fuel-only stop. Anthony Marchese could be the first one out due to the damage Allen has, and he will do so and be the first car out. And he will not be able to edge out Bradley Bishop Jr. You see in the screen just right there. But the 33 car now in a good position to potentially steal a top 5 away here. Great run for this 33 team. They've been up front, and they're justifying that case here today. But looking at where Hannah Allen is at, you see JJ Roberts getting around his teammate of Cory Williams for position here. This is important for JJ Roberts. He's been under pressure from the Curtis Racing team to really pick it up, and so far, he has really picked up the pace here with his teammate, the points leader, right behind him. But now, in terms of the cycle, Vince Freeze now coming in. He was the last car to stay out on the racetrack, and now he's going to be the last car to come down pit lanes of the 42 car. Based on probably the observations we've seen, this might be a fuel-only stop for this 42 car, but Bradley Bishop Jr. could be in good hands. He could win this race, but what's this? He's got to come down pit lane. Bradley Bishop Jr. looks like he does not have enough gas to make it to the end. With 2 laps to go in the event, Bishop Jr. might have ended up just short. They might have not fueled the car enough, and that leaves now to Vince Freeze and Anthony Marchese potentially. Here comes Freeze out of pit lane. Anthony Marchese right there behind him. Look at the battle. It's going to be really close off of pit lane, and Vince Freeze actually is going to top out ahead of Anthony Marchese, but Marchese up to speed, Freeze not. Through the S's they go, really out of the S's they go. Vince Freeze with the advantage over Anthony Marchese. Alex Benyacko is going to have to get around Paul Jackson, and he's going to have to do so right now, because if he doesn't, he's not going to win this race. Paul Jackson still giving a bit of a fight to Alex Benyacko, and Benyacko's certainly not going to like that, but the top 2 are trying to run away from Alex Benyacko. Remember that 8 car with 2 tires. Jeffrey White has gone around James Shelley for position, so that is up to the 4th spot for him. But now, focusing on the top 2, Vince Freeze, Anthony Marchese, both of them hungry for their first win in their whole career in the FBRL universe. Off of turn 11, they're gonna go. It is going to be the white flag. 1 more lap to go here for Vince Freeze at the Glen. Anthony Marchese still hot under the collar, looking to make a move, decide to back off, almost gave a bumper to Vince Freeze. He is right there behind that 42 car. Through the S's they go. Vince Freeze still holding on for dear life. Both of them still just desperate to see if they can get victory for the first time. Anthony Marchese, great run through the S's. He is right on the bumper of that 42 car. And now to move to the inside, weaves to the right, looking to see if he can take advantage in the bus stop. Side by side, in the bus stop they go. Freeze hits the rumble strip. So does Marchese, but he goes through the grass. Freeze ahead of that 33 car. Through the carousel they go. Marchese wanted to put a nose underneath Freeze, but Freeze just had the run of a lifetime off the corner. That could be the moment of the race right there. Vince Freeze for Texan Motorsports rounds through turn 10 and turn 11 here, but look at Anthony Marchese. He is certainly not going to give up without a fight there. A lunge to the inside. Freeze stumbles a little bit off the turn 11, and down to the wire it's going to be. Side by side for the win. It's going to be Vince Freeze that's going to win it here at the Glen. What a thriller here at Watkins Glen. What a finish between 2 contenders that were going for their first ever career victory, and Vince Freeze for Texan Motorsports pulls off an upset and wins here at Watkins Glen, and Anthony Marchese is going to play the bridesmaid out of all this. So the 33 car just short of a win, but a close finish to end Watkins Glen. And Alex Benyacko, the pole sitter, 3rd. And Jeffrey White, great march up to the 4th spot. James Shelley, 5th. JJ Roberts, a 6th place run. Cory Williams, 7th. A great run for him. Consistency really playing into the cards for Cory Williams. Jack Porkins, 8th. And the 9th is Austin James, quiet run for him. And how about Noah Hart? Rounding out the top 10, him and Austin James had pretty quiet runs, as I mentioned. Austin James, his first career start, great run for him in 9th. And then, like I said, for Noah Hart, quiet run, kind of mid-pack all race, ends up with the top 10 thanks to strategy. But in terms of Bradley Bishop Jr., where did he finish? Looking back at where he's at, where on earth is he? Well, still looking a bit backwards. He finishes 18th, so a disappointing effort for Bradley Bishop Jr. But how about Vince Freeze on winning the race there? A chaotic finish on fuel mileage, and a close one to say the least, with a photo finish between Vince Freeze and Anthony Marchese. Thank you all for watching. We'll take a look at the results, but congratulations to Vince Freeze, a monumental win for Texan Motorsports.